Let's talk about kerosene pickles. Let's talk about Old Man Rimshaw. Let's talk about Barney's sidecar. It's always fun to hang out with y'all. A loaded goat is causing a stir from the panic he is creating. Come on in, take a seat. It's 2 chairs, no waiting. Sit a spell and tune right in. We are about to start the show. We have a lot to talk about with the folks that we all know. Opie and Ian, Otis Barn and the Darlings too. This will be amazing. It's 2 chairs, no waiting.
Episode 850, Who Stole Floyd's Pants?
It's 2 chairs, no waiting. It's 2 chairs, no waiting. Let's start the show. 2 chairs, no waiting.
I love my theme song. Hello, everybody. I'm Allan, Newsome, the host of 2 Chairs, No Waiting. Great to be here with you. I want to thank all the folks who support the podcast. This week's show is the executive producer are the folks from the Mayberry Meetup for episode number 850, and the High Sheriff of Mayberry, who also supports the show. I really appreciate him, is Chris Merrill. So thank you, Chris, and thank you to everybody that came to the Mayberry Meetup. We'll be talking a little bit about that tonight. We're going to be talking about who stole Floyd's pants. That's a little what we'll talk about. We're going to run through a little bit from the Weaver's newsletter because we just published that. It's out in the internets for you all to go and peruse. And we'll catch up on some of the things that happened during the Mayberry Meetup as well. So, wow, to get this started, I want to play a voicemail that we got from Warren over on Myrtle Beach. And he's kind of got some comments that leads right into our Who Stole Floyd's Pants.
Hi, Allan. This is Warren from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I just got done listening to the 23rd Psalm skit with you and Barney. I can't believe how funny that was. I could not stop laughing. You did such a good job. Please don't stop doing it. I would like to hear more of those if you can. Anyway, it also reminds me of when Barney had trouble with the Emancipation Proclamation with him and Andy when he thought he knew that. They were so funny. Anyway, thanks again for all you do. You do a great job, and I love listening to you. Thanks.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Warren. Thank you. I'm glad you liked it. And what he was talking about was it was episode number 847. It's called 23rd Psalm by Barney. Now, if you haven't seen that, definitely something you might want to go back over and check out because it is pretty dadgum good. I mean, I don't know how folks wouldn't enjoy it, but that particular episode is the one he's referring to, and a lot of people have really liked it. So we even the podcast, we did a little bit of stuff last week showing things from it was last week, showing things from Mayberry Days, and it was from the Colonel Tim's event. So that made me think, hey, why don't we show another opening from Colonel Tim's? So this one is from Colonel Tim's. This gives you an idea of what happens in Mayberry Days. Definitely try to attend Mayberry Days. This is from Mayberry Days in 2022. It's Colonel Tim's. And what you're going to see is from the Andy Griffith Playhouse. Colonel Tim's, that's where it is. And we will join Barney there in the opening of Colonel Tim. So let's go ahead and join him there. I hope you're going to enjoy this.
Here and starts the show. He doesn't let anybody do anything. He thinks he's the big boss. Well, I'm out here now. But Floyd was telling me the other day, he said, I was sitting right in front of the barber shop there, and this fella comes walking down the side there, and he was going like this. He thought, boy, that's pretty weird. He looks down over there, and there's another fella come on the other end coming out like this.
So for those that are only watching, he's dragging his foot behind him, and he did that for both.
And as he's watching that, he's like, well, they're going to meet right in front of me here. And sure enough, they met right in front. And they stopped there, and they looked at each other. The one fella goes, Vietnam, 1969. The other fella goes, dog mess, about 30 yards back. Well, actually, I stole that one from Floyd. That's not all I stole from Floyd. You see, to get out here, I had to do something a little drastic. So I stole his pants. Yeah, that's the only way to get out here is to steal somebody's pants. They're not going to come out here in their underwear, that's for sure. What? What?
You got Floyd's pants.
Well, yes, I got Floyd's pants right here.
He's got mine. Give him the Hey, Barney.
What?
You got my pants?
No, Otis has got your pants.
What?
Otis
I
has.
got Otis's pants. What do you? When you come out and steal a man's pants and stuff, I don't understand how that even happens.
Well, I didn't steal. Otis has him. I don't know why you would have him.
Where is Otis?
I don't know.
Let's get back. Come on back here.
Enjoy the show.
Oh, so for those of you that were only listeners, I definitely recommend you go and check that out in the video version, because basically Barney had stole Floyd's pants so he could open the show, because Floyd is the MC for Colonel Tim's, and and all that ensued because Floyd ended up stealing Otis's pants so he could go out and work, and that you saw or heard what happened. Great times, guys. We have so much fun doing things at Mayberry Days, and that definitely, I mean, that's a little more than it'll probably been on the Andy Griffith Show, because it's definitely, I don't know if that's real world or not, but I think that is so funny to see and to just been a part of. I think Kenneth Junkin, who was Otis, and Terry Varvel, who was Barney, with myself being Floyd the barber. So that's who stole Floyd's pants. That's oh me. So folks, we had this week the Weaver's newsletter came out. So definitely something that I think you guys would enjoy having in your mailbox. Come in there. So the Weaver's newsletter comes out every other month. And so this is the Weaver's newsletter for July and August of 2025. It has all kinds of great information in there, including all the new products and stuff that Weaver's actually shares with all of us. And hopefully you guys will enjoy going through this a little bit with me. Mr. Weaver is even in this wearing a Barney's Lawman button-down shirt. So if you head over to Weaver's department store, you can get one. There's even a slight preview for the 2026 Mayberry calendar that'll be coming out really soon, probably in about 3 weeks from the time of this show airing. We will have that in hand at Weaver's and be able to start getting it out there. There's a brand new sleep shirt for ladies, and it's got a great design. If you haven't seen the design, it's got the squad car, Barney's hat, the door badge from the side from the squad car, gavel, Barney's bullet, and I can't remember what all else on there. The keys from the courthouse, and it's a pattern, kind of like a Hawaiian shirt, but it's very soft. And that we were making the Lawman sleep shirt, and the lounge pants, and a button-down shirt as well. That's what Weaver's is wearing in the start of the newsletter. So definitely go and check it out. There's an entire section of Floyd's Barbershop Bulletin Board, which you know about. Everybody that listens to the podcast knows about it. The most recent thing about to come up is on August the 16th, Professor Brower, Neil Brower, will be at the Andy Griffith Museum Theater doing Sheriff Barney. He'll be going over a Sheriff Barney. It's a great time if you haven't been to those. We did it during the Mayberry meetup. We went in and it was a great event. It's definitely something you want to see. And of course, Mayberry Days is coming up. If you don't know what Mayberry Days is, guys, I've tried and tried and tried. The Weaver's newsletter, as you go through it, you'll actually see a Mayberry Days 101. There's a whole thing in there trying to explain to everybody what Mayberry Days is like. I can tell you, scheduled to appear at Mayberry Days this year currently is Rodney Dillard, the darling boy that plays the guitar, Keith Thibodeau, who is Johnny Paul Jason, Dennis Rush, who is Howie Pruitt, Margaret Till, who is Agnes Jean Parker. Remember, she was with a family that was robbing grocery stores and stuff that Barney was living with. She'll be here. This will be her second year. Karen Knotts is going to be there. That's Don's daughter. And this year, the nephew of Don Knotts, Bill Knotts, will be there. They're going to be doing shows. Almost every one of these people are doing shows. Peter Ackerman, the son of Miss Ellie, Miss Ellie's boy, he's in our chat room often. He hasn't been in here last day or last couple of weeks, but he's often in here with us. On Monday nights, as I record the live version of the show, Dan Roebuck. Now, he wasn't on the Andy Griffith Show, but he was on Matlock. He was Cliff on Matlock. Huge Mayberry and Andy Griffith fan himself. Great to be around him. And Dick Atkins is planning to be there. He was the producer of Andy and Johnny Cash in the Murder in Cayuga County TV movie that came on years ago. They'll be showing that. So there's all kinds of special guests that will be there with us. So make plans to come out to Mayberry Days. And then finally, we've got the Mayberry Cruise is coming up. I think I was told that you can still get rooms, but they're not going to be, they're more expensive now. You can still go with us. They've sold more rooms than they ever have for this particular cruise going out of New Orleans. So we should have a lot of fun. There's information in the newsletter as well about stuff coming up in 2026. So go over and check out the newsletter. And if you are going on the Mayberry Cruise, you can get a Cruise to Mayberry t-shirt with a giant ship version of the Mayberry squad car on it. It's great. So go check it out. There's a new book called From Bible Studies as well. And as I mentioned, there's Mayberry Days 101. There is a lot of information in the newsletter about this. The key points is what I'll go over. It was organized by the Surrey Arts Council back in 1990. It's been going on ever since. It attracts fans worldwide for the nostalgia of the Andy Griffith Show. Mayberry Days is an annual festival in Mount Airy. It celebrates the Andy Griffith Show. It always occurs in late September, which is the last full weekend of September. The full weekend means the entire weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, are all within September. It's not the end of, the 1st of October. It's all within there. So that's how you know when it's going to be, the last full weekend of September. This year it's going to be the 22nd through the 28th in Mount Airy, so make plans to be there. But there's all kinds of great information in the Weaver's newsletter all about Mayberry Days, the activities, the organization. We got pictures in there for everything. It's got all kinds of reports about the people who have attended over the past many years, and definitely something that if you're new, or even if you're not new, you might enjoy catching up and finding out what is Mayberry Days all about, and should I really try to travel and go there? Well, the answer is yes, you should if you can. I realize it's a long way to travel for a lot of people. I drive. It's about a 9-hour total drive, counting stops and everything for me, and I go to Mount Airy several times per year. But definitely something I believe that you would find rewarding as a fan of the Andy Griffith Show to attend. So think about it. Go and look it up. You can go out to mayberrydays.org. All kinds of information there as well, including photos and everything that you can check out. Again, if you haven't seen it, go back and watch last week's episode, the Mayberry Days Founders Day or Founders Day pageant. It was episode number 849. You can get a little more taste of what happens at Colonel Tim's, kind of like you got at the beginning of the show tonight. There's also a great book over at Weaver's that would help you if you do travel to Mount Airy. It's a Mayberry travel guide. It's got all kinds of information about Andy's hometown, all the sights to see all around it, trivia and information about it. So go and check that out. That's all at Weaver's. You can head over to Weaver's and check that out. There's a good bit of news of cast and crew that we've looked up and found for you. So let me just give you a little bit about this. Ron Howard, Opie, of course, he earned his very first, can you believe this, very first ever acting nomination for an Emmy, a 2025 Emmy, is what he's been nominated for guest starring as himself in a series called The Studio. So it has had impressive showing in the Emmys. It's gotten a lot of Emmy people nominated for their Emmy Awards. But this was Ron's very first one. He said, jokingly, he said, Opie's not worthy, Richie's chopped liver. But he finally did earn a nomination for being himself. We'll find out whether he actually takes home the award when the 77th Primetime Emmy Awards are held on September the 14th. So good luck to Ron. Now, not only did Ron Howard get nominated for an Emmy, his brother, Leon Clint Howard, he's also been nominated for an Emmy Award. Now, his was a daytime Emmy. It was a nomination for the role of Tom Starr on the soap opera Bold and the Beautiful. The nomination was for Outstanding Guest Performance in a Daytime Series. And it is his first daytime Emmy nomination. So Clint had this to say about daytime TV and the work that required to film so many pages of scripts per day. I mean, they do this every day when they're doing these soap operas. He said, it was a challenge, and I have a newfound respect for daytime television actors and the grit that they execute. Another big thanks to the Academy for this nomination. It means more than words can express to this old dinosaur. Thanks, fans, for your constant support and enjoyment of the entertainment I have been fortunate to do, end quote. We find out whether Clint takes home his award when they have this 52nd annual daytime Emmy Awards on October the 17th. So September and October, we find out about Ron and Clint, whether they win their Emmy Awards. How cool is that? Both of them in the same year. I just think that's really cool. Great brothers. If you haven't read their book and you can get a copy of it somewhere, go and check it out, The Boys. I actually listened to the book. You can go on audible.com and listen to the book. You can buy it there. You probably get it at your library on audio as well. And it's them reading. So the way the book's written, Ron tells a story about something about a story, and then Clint throws in whatever he knew about that story as well. And they go back and forth like that throughout the entire book. And when you listen to the audio, it's literally them reading the book to you. It's like them telling you a story. It's almost like sitting in the living room at the Howard home, the extended family home, and getting to just hear all this stuff. So great. So Margaret Carey, who played Bess Muggins and Helen Scobie, you'll remember her. She gave an update on how she's been doing. She said, I've been keeping busy working at home and enjoying life with her husband and planning new events for later this year. And she has her website. You can go and check her out at tinkerbelltalks.com. And all this information is in the Weaver's newsletter. So go out there and click on it. There was a great picture of Margaret, who is 96, and her husband, Robert, who's 100, at the Disneyland 70th anniversary celebration earlier this year in the newsletter. She posted it on her Facebook page as well. Dennis Rush, who's Howie Pruitt, or maybe Williams, depending on which episode you're talking about. He celebrated a birthday recently, back in June. And in July, he had an amazing road trip. His wife, Judy, has a grandchild who lives in Denver. And Dennis and Judy live in San Diego. So Dennis went to pick her up in Denver, and wow, did he have a southwestern tour, go on an adventure. It was adventure sleeping for sure. But he called it his Summer of 25 road trip, and he posted lots of pictures online of this amazing trip. So Dennis, I'm glad you made it home safe. We're looking forward to seeing you at Mayberry Days, and he's going on the Mayberry Cruise as well. Keith Thibodeau, Johnny Paul, he wished his mom a happy 95th birthday online, and so we want to join in and say thank you to Keith's mom for having Keith and having him be able to provide us all kinds of entertainment all these years. Keith he is not only an actor, he's also a drummer, as you'll remember him being Little Ricky, and he's with David and the Giants, a Christian band. They have a brand new album out. I mentioned it last Weaver's newsletter. It's called See You There. It came out back in May, and the really cool thing about this one is Keith wrote and sang 3 songs on that album. So go and check it out. Definitely something you want to check out. There's also a really nice interview of them. There's a link to it in a podcast called Vine Life Podcast with Keith and his bandmate David Huff. So definitely something you would want to go check out. Rodney Dillard, the guitar playing Darlin' Boyd, he recently performed at the Musicians Spotlight series at the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum. That was on July 20th. I didn't get to go because the Mayberry meetup was that weekend, and that was on the Sunday we were headed home. It takes 9 hours to get home. There's no way I couldn't make it. But he had a great performance there and was so thankful to be a part of it. And he said, I want to thank the Country Music Hall of Fame Museum for recognizing the Dillards' place in the history of country rock. And he goes on to say more, but you can go and read about this. Go to the Weaver's newsletter and check it out. You can go to rodneydillard.tv. That's the website to find out his most current activities. And that was a roundup of some of the things we found out about the cast and crew. Now, we had chapter news as well. The Mayberry chapter from Knoxville, Tennessee, was reporting that they had been in the 4th of July parade in Farragut. Yeah, Farragut, Tennessee. And while they were there, they met a 12-year-old young lady who was a huge Mayberry fan. And they were able to drive her around in the squad car, her and her dad. And I think Ernest T. was reportedly throwing rocks at the windows of the squad car as they drove by. Not confirmed, but that's what we heard, that may have happened. So go and check it out. There's a great write-up from the Mayberry chapter. There's also big news coming in from the Blood Brothers chapter in Macon, Missouri. They had their chapter meeting recently, but what the big deal that came out of that chapter meeting is they're making plans to have the centennial celebration of Andy Griffith's birthday. That's right, his 100th birthday. So they're going to be having a big event on Saturday, May 30th of 2026 to celebrate Andy's 100th birthday. It's going to be at the Royal Theater in Macon, Missouri. All the seats will be about $30 general admission. So definitely if you're in that area or can make it to that area, maybe you'll want to go. They're going to have Randy Turner from This Week in Mayberry History and so many other things. He's the author, of course, of Mayberry books. He wrote that travel guide I mentioned earlier. But he's written so many Mayberry books. He's a scholar, literally, about Mayberry, and he'll be doing a presentation. We're going to have Andy's daughter will be there, Dixie. She's going to be also celebrating Andy's birthday. And our friend Rick Roberts, who played Barney in the Mayberry Man movie, great guy, wonderful man, good Christian comedian, will be performing that day as well for everybody. It will be an amazing event coming up on May the 30th, 2026. So definitely check that out. I'll be watching the event calendar on imayberry.com for any future information. And there's information in the Weaver's newsletter about how to contact Jonna, the blood brother. And you can call her or email her. Their information is in the newsletter. I mentioned earlier about the Mayberry Cronies. The Mayberry Cronies make things out of crafts and everything. So they had a recent meeting at the Mayberry Meetup. That's right. They went over to Libby Hill Seafood, according to them. Most of the club was in attendance, and they welcomed Steve, his very first time ever coming to one of the events, but because he was from Arizona. Oh my goodness. Came all the way from Arizona to meet with everybody and be a part of the Mayberry Meetup and the Good Fellowship with the Mayberry Cronies. Go out there and read about it. It's all there. Speaking of Randy Turner, he's got a brand new book over at Weaver's. It's called The Enduring Legacy of the Andy Griffith Show. It's a shorter book, so it's one I might actually be able to read instead of having to do audiobooks. It's only about 90 pages long. Great book. It's only $13. But he's talking about the top 10 reasons or the reasons for Mayberry's lasting popularity. Definitely something you might want to go and pick out. There's all kinds of other things going on over at Weaver's, and there's Mayberry Meetup. There's a report in the Weaver's newsletter about that. I've kind of gone over a lot of the meetup in the past, but I definitely want to encourage you to go and check out everything that happened during the Mayberry Meetup. We had a wonderful time. It was the 13th annual Mayberry Meetup, and people, as I said, traveled all the way from Arizona. So Steve Raths, he was the one that got the furthest travel this year. Last year, we had somebody from Hawaii. So Steve looked out. He didn't get to come back, the one that came from Hawaii. But great time sitting around outside the gazebo at the Mayberry Motor Inn. Go and check out the Weaver's newsletter. You'll be able to read all about it, see pictures that were posted in there, taken by random people that were at the meetup, including Miss Mayberry, Sarah Blaine. She took some of them that sent to us. I want to thank her for that. And we had a group picture that was taken of all the Mayberry tribute artists, both professional and amateur versions of our tribute artists that attend the Mayberry meetup and just there to have a good time. None of them were in uniform. They were just there to enjoy each other's company. So go check that out while you're there at the Weaver's newsletter. Have I said Weaver's newsletter enough? You can go to weaversdepartmentstore.com/newsletter and go right to it and be able to see everything that's going on. They even, if you hear on the podcast, you guys had an advantage because there's trivia in the Weaver's newsletter, but we did it here on the podcast first. So it's from about a year ago. Paul Mulick, who provides us our trivia so often, had sent in, and so we got some of that trivia along with the answers. They're there too. So go and check out the Weaver's newsletter. There's a lot of information in there about everything going on the internet as well. There's really just more than we can possibly go over here on the podcast. So again, I want to thank everybody for being here with us and for just supporting Weaver's and going through all the fun that we do. So that's really, the newsletter is sell things, but there's really a lot of information there that's just Mayberry fun. So guys, that is what I have for us tonight. I think I'm forgetting something that I was going to show you, but I think this is enough. We've been talking for 30 minutes. Go out and check out the Weaver's newsletter and let me know what you think, because I wrote it. I wrote most of it. There's very little that I didn't do myself. I took over the reins from Jim Clark, who ran it so well for so long, and hopefully I am at least keeping it near the level of fun that he provided to us all for so many years. Jim Clark, the presiding goober emeritus of the Andy Griffith Show Real and Watchers Club. None of us would be doing this if it wasn't for him. So thank you so much, Jim. Thank you all for being here. I hope you've enjoyed yourself and had a good time here on the podcast. I would love to hear from you. You can give me a call at 256-513-9526, like Warren did at the beginning of the show. And if you don't get that number, you can go over to twochairsnowaiting.com. And the number is on the show notes for everyone. You can also email me at floyd@imayberry.com, or just, again, head over to twochairsnowaiting.com or imayberry.com/podcast if you need to go directly. And let me know what you think, guys. I would love to hear from you. Thanks for being here, and thanks for always supporting the podcast. And until next time, everybody, we'll see you right here on Two Chairs No Waiting.